Our next guest is Lou Lee, founder and CEO of Blooming Founders, London's leading business social network for early-stage female entrepreneurs. Welcome to the show, Lou.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks for coming. Just initially, tell us a little bit about Blooming Founders and how it came about.
Yeah, so Blooming Founders is a startup company to support and promote female entrepreneurship. There's a growing trend in startups and entrepreneurship, and I think the future of work is changing. So people are thinking about, starting up their own businesses instead of the 9-to-5. Mothers are, looking to kind of go back to the workforce, or maybe kind of like turning their own ideas into reality, into a business. So there's a growing trend, but for some reason there was no support system for them in London. So I thought I would create it.
But there seem to be some other communities in, like, for example, Tech City is it Tech City Girls, I think it's called, or
there's Girls in Tech.
Girls in Tech. Yes. There you go.
Yes.
And things like. Do you work with them, or are you competing with them, or how does that work?
No, we are all collaborating.
Okay.
I love the girls.
There's no bitchiness involved.
No. We're very, very collaborative.
Fantastic.
And so there's a lot of different organizations out there, like Girls in Tech, there's Women Who Code, there's Gigettes, Ada's List, and it's different formations of women, but nothing really focuses on the founders,
right?
Like the people who are actually starting businesses. So you have engineers, and then you have women sort of like working in digital marketing and digital women, but not really the founder support.
So when you say working on the founders, then how do you actually empower and help the female entrepreneurs?
So I do a lot of events at the moment in London, more educational events. I bring the community together. I put female, speakers on the panel to share like their experiences, etc. And I'm also publishing a book this year because I found out that the lack of role models is a big issue for early-stage female founders.
And what's the title of the book?
It's called Dear Female Founder.
Dear Female Founder.
Dear Female Founder.
Okay, cool. And when's that due?
It's coming out in July.
In July. Okay, great, fantastic. And so, what do you think should be done to encourage more women to become entrepreneurs?
So I think the role model thing is an important issue to tackle, because if you look at the media, there's not enough female role models out there, and it's really a question of you can't be what you can't see. So to empower future generations of women and girls to become entrepreneurs, we need to create more stories around amazing female founders that are already out there and running their own businesses, right? So that's the first step, to kind of empower women, and then I'm creating a community for these women, because there are so many questions that you want answers to when you start a business. And actually 66% of my community are solo founders. So it's very hard to start a business by yourself. And by leveraging the community, you can leverage the brains of everybody. And
when you talk about the founders, you seem to be focusing more on the entrepreneurial side of the founders. But there's also a big move in terms of getting women to be more involved in the coding side and the technical side. Are you involved in that side of things?
Yes, definitely.
Tell us more about that.
So I'm kind of trying to bridge the business people and the tech people, which is why I'm collaborating with the other women's organizations. Right?
Okay, right.
So I'm launching a startup education program as well in June.
Okay.
It's called Startup and Bloom, and really that's kind of is bringing together business people and tech people to form teams and form diverse startup teams to then launch a business, because you need all of these skills in a startup, right? You need the business people, you need the tech people, you need like coders and designers, right? So.
And is this a free service or is it a paid for service?
So at the moment, it's the community is fully free, because I'm building the community, and the education program will be charged for. Sometimes I do charge for events, and the book is obviously available on Amazon for normal prices.
And on Kindle and everything else.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Speaking of events, do you have any upcoming events?
Yes, I have an event early April, on the 7th of April, sorry, and that's co-hosted with a corporate service provider called Maple Leaf, and we're hosting it with Metro Bank.
Right.
So we're having 2 female founders sharing their experiences on how to bootstrap a business. So
and where is that going to be?
At Metro Bank in Holborn.
And you can find all the details of this on your website, I guess.
So it's at bloomingfounders.eventbrite.com or on my website. Yeah.
Fine, fantastic. So that's so in terms of the women. Are you solely focused on women, or do you have other people getting involved to help out and to collaborate with the events, or with the helping female founders?
Yeah. So the target audience is female founders, but it's a community event, so it's open to everybody.
Okay.
I actually have between 20 to 30% men in the audience.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I don't, alienate anybody, right?
Because I mean, and how do you get the men to get involved? Because often these groups tend to be very women focused, and do you encourage men to come along, or you just allow men to come along?
I allow men to come along. It's very kind of clearly stated on the Eventbrite. It's for men and women, or women and men actually in this case. And I use very open promotion channels. So I post through, I like to at Facebook advertising, Facebook groups, Eventbrite, or I host a lot of events on Google Campus as well.
And how big is your community at the moment?
So about like 2,200 people.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay, so getting there. And you've been going since when?
A year.
Oh, so 2,000 years. That's very good. Very impressive. Lou, I think we have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.